In this video, I give you my recommendation for the best mesh chair at every price point. Starting it off for $150, the Colony Kieran. I recently got a comment on my mesh chair problems video that mesh chairs suck unless they're expensive. I'd agree that most cheap mesh chairs do in fact suck, but for around $150 you can find some great value with the Kieran. I'd even argue that this chair is in the conversation for the most comfortable office chair you can buy for under $300. The best part about the Kieran is its wide seat with good support. It also has a breathable mesh backrest with a nice lumbar curve. In addition to the built-in support, it has a height-adjustable lumbar pad. Finally, it also features 4-way adjustable arms with decently padded arm pads. This chair doesn't have a sophisticated mechanism, so the recline function is quite simplistic. Now, the biggest concern with any chair at this price range is that the support and comfort may not be great for long hours, so be ready to take breaks. As we get to the chairs later in the list, I'm sure the Kieran will suck in comparison, but if you're fixed in this price range, this is your best option. I'm sticking with the brand Colony for my $300 pick, the Atlas. With the added bump in price over the Kieran, you're also getting an upgraded feature set and more premium looks. The most notable addition is the adjustable headrest. I'm not personally somebody who has to have a headrest, but the Atlas does have a nice wide headrest for this price range. You'll again see a nice lumbar curve in the backrest to fit into your lumbar area for good back support. There's also an included height-adjustable lumbar pad, but it doesn't add a ton of extra support. The seat slider and 4-dimensional arms will help this chair to fit a wider range of users. One of the biggest complaints we've heard about this chair is that the arm pads slide around too easily. I assume this is partially a quality control issue, as our chair isn't particularly bad, but I can understand where those complaints come from. My pick in last year's version of this video was the Branch Task Chair. This is the only chair from Branch I would recommend, and it remains one of the best options under $300. You'll lose the headrest by going with the Branch chair, but what you'll gain is a high and wide backrest, and a very different looking chair than the Colony. As we hit the $500 price range, it's the perfect time for my shameless plug. BTOD sells premium refurbished Steelcase Leap and EMEA chairs. So for about 50% off the retail price, you can buy a high-end Steelcase chair for your home or office. Now, getting back into mesh, at $500 we enter what I consider the mid-level chair options. A major standout in this category is the Eurotech Vera. I have to lead off with the Vera's backrest, featuring a built-in lumbar curve that will fit just about everyone. As you recline in the chair, the mesh backrest hits the perfect balance of support while letting you feel suspended. The seat is nicely padded, but also supportive enough for long sitting sessions. The Vera has a good range of adjustments, including a seat slider to accommodate taller users. An improved mech compared to the cheaper options gives you more sophisticated synchro tilt recline. A huge plus is the bump up to 5-year warranty compared to 3 years in the Colony chairs. The chair does have a couple downsides, but they weren't bad enough to prevent me from purchasing this chair for my home a few years ago. One personal preference is I wish the Vera's arms would go a little lower. Another issue is that the mesh tends to pull on loose woven clothing, but thankfully it's not too difficult to clean. In the $700 to $1,000 range, you start to see a massive range of different styles of mesh chairs. From X-Chairs X2 to the Fujin and Fujin Pro, and then there's the Sihu S300. These are what I would consider very risky chairs. While I'm sure there's a segment that loves them, I'd much rather recommend a chair that a wider audience will love. The Haworth Soji fits that description, and this is my first pick from a premium brand. The advantage of being from that premium brand is that you'll receive a fully assembled chair with a 12-year warranty. Haworth offers lots of different mesh and fabric combinations. The main reason the Soji has been a BTOD favorite for a long time is because it's an all-around comfortable chair. The materials are very nice with high-quality mesh and fabric. The biggest downsides would be that it's on the border of being too small for me. So if you're 6'2" or taller, you may appreciate that they have a 30-day trial period, so you can test out the chair and return if needed. Also, the armrests are a bit on the firm side, but still better than any of the chairs up to this point. You've probably noticed by now that none of the chairs so far have had mesh seats. If you're really set on having a mesh seat, later in the video I'll give you some options for chairs that have both a mesh seat and backrest at different price points. That now changes with my next pick, the Ergonomic Gen 2. The reason is it's really hard to design a comfortable mesh seat, and I've yet to find a great one under this $1,000 price range. The Gen 2 has a flat seat frame paired with a waterfall front edge. This helps to eliminate any awkward pressure points and allows for better weight distribution across the mesh. The best part about the Ergohuman is its backrest, with its flexible and adjustable lumbar support system. It pivots to give good support as you move around in the chair. The backrest also positions you in a nice upright position with proper support throughout your entire back. The Ergohuman has some of the best arms of any chair I've ever tested. They have good adjustment range, especially with height and pivot, helping it to fit a wide range of users. The best thing about the arms though is the Super Cush pads, second only to the Aerons for comfort. The chair also has a great headrest, perfect for reclining and stays out of the way when you don't need it. Finally, Eurotech offers a limited lifetime warranty with the mesh covered for 5 years. I'm going back to Haworth for my $1,500 pick, the Zodi. My favorite version of the Zodi has digital knit, lumbar adjustment, and dual posture. If you're wondering why I didn't pick the Fern, I would generally prefer the Fern over the Zodi, but the best version of the Fern is the upholstered digital knit back, which I can't consider mesh. The digital knit on the Zodi is very different and truly feels and functions like mesh. The Zodi is a great looking chair when you order the right combo of colors and fabric. Haworth designed the chair with premium materials everywhere, and the flared wide backrest is very comfortable with high quality mesh. A unique feature I love about the Zodi is the dual posture adjustment range. This gives you the ability to perch on your chair. It's a great way to move around while working, especially if you use an adjustable height desk. I'm also a huge fan of the recline on the high-end Haworth chairs, second only to my no-budget pick coming up next. The seat is a bit on the firm side, but it is still comfortable enough to use for long hours. My number one mesh chair pick has remained the same for years. I'll take the Herman Miller Aeron, and since money is not a factor here, I'll add the Atlas headrest. I would load up this size C chair with adjustable posture fit lumbar support, tilt limiter, and fully adjustable arms. The chair in our footage here is a size B version, so it's a little small for me. But thankfully, Herman Miller makes this chair in 3 sizes. With the Aeron, you're getting high-end looks and the best build quality in the category. My favorite thing about the Aeron is the recline. It gives you a suspended floating feeling in the highest quality mesh you can find. And back to that Atlas headrest, it has the build quality and materials to match the Aeron and includes 3-way adjustment. The downsides are the hard seat frame can limit some seating positions. Also, some people find the seat to be too firm. Even with these problems, the Aeron is still the number one mesh chair I'd like to keep at my desk. As promised, here are those recommendations for chairs that have both a mesh seat and a backrest. If you're starting to think none of these chairs are right for you, click the link in the description for our full office chair buying guide.